we will always be able to transmit the transcendental nature and glories of Srila Prabhupada's journey to the United States of America and the Western world.
We know the Trump administration is chock full of unqualified dipshits, to be sure. And this story I'm going to talk to you about. I'm going to read just a few paragraphs from it, but it's about Tulsi Gabbard. Wired did reporting uncovering the fact that she is irresponsible and unqualified to be, I don't think this was their conclusion, but this is my conclusion, that she is unqualified, incapable of being the director of national intelligence because of the fact, one, she has no experience in this arena, but two, that she is with her own personal security and information security lacking in how she deals with it. They have found her old passwords that are all easy to crack, and she uses the same password for multiple things. This is less interesting to me, though, than one element of the story that kind of got buried at the end of the story. And it's that they're trying to claim the bigotry card because her passwords have to do with a cult that she's a member of. And then when you call it a cult, they get all up in arms and call it Hindu phobia or something. She's in a cult. There's a weird video floating out there that I'm going to play for you. I think I played it in the past, where she's like showering praise on a living human being, thanking this person for her salvation. Or it's all very creepy and very weird. And it's a cult. So this is the more interesting element. Let me read this headline to you. Tulsi Gabbard reused the same weak password on multiple accounts for years. Now, the U.S. Director of National Intelligence, Gabbard, failed to follow basic cybersecurity practices on several of her personal accounts, leaked records reviewed by Wired revealed. Now, there's one paragraph that'll sum this up, and then we're going to get to this cult aspect of the story. Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, used the same easily cracked passwords for different online accounts over a period of years, according to leaked records reviewed by Wired. Following her participation in a Signal group chat in which sensitive details of a military operation were unwittingly shared with a journalist, the revelation raises further questions about the security practices of the U.S. spy chief. Now, the position that Tulsi Gabbard holds is, she's like the tip of the spear for U.S. intelligence. Ahead of the CIA director, ahead of defense intelligence. She's the director of national intelligence, DNI. It's a big deal. It's more important than the national security advisor, who doesn't even get a hearing, doesn't have to be confirmed because it's outside of the purview of oversight of the Congress. She had to be confirmed by the United States Senate under Article 2, Section 2 of the United States Constitution, where the Constitution demands that the Senate provide advice and consent, right? So it is strange, it is dangerous that we have a cult member in this position. Here is that weird, creepy-ass video where she's pledging her life devotion and duty and honor to some weirdo that she owes her salvation to. It's all very cultish. Watch this, and then we'll move on with the rest of the article.
Those of us who are the spiritual children and grandchildren of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, would all be lost orphans were it not for His compassion and mercy. My Gurudev, Srila Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, has said that while we will never be able to repay the debt of gratitude that we all owe Srila Prabhupada, what we can do is be pleasing to Him by always taking shelter in the holy names of Krishna. By taking shelter in the names of Krishna, we too may become lovers of Krishna, whose lives are motivated by compassion and love for others. My dear friends, in this way, with the sweet names of Krishna always upon our lips and in our hearts, we will always be able to transmit the transcendental nature and glories of Srila Prabhupada's journey to the United States of America and the Western world. So on this historic and auspicious day, we should take this opportunity to beg for the blessing of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, so that we too can taste the nectar of love for Krishna and be motivated by compassion to use our lives working for the spiritual and material well-being of others. Again, I thank you all for this opportunity. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Yeah, not culty at all, right? She was a lost orphan without the compassion and mercy of this human being. That we all of us owe a debt of gratitude to this human being who apparently moved to the United States, and that we beg for a blessing from this person, from this human being. Not a cult at all, right? The weird, vacant, 1,000-yard stare and the empty smile. Not a cult at all. I mean, that could have been a hostage video and you wouldn't know the difference. Going back to the Wired article, this is where the cult element comes into this. And I think, again, it's the most interesting and maybe the most dangerous aspect of this. The password associated with all of the accounts in question includes the word Shraddha, which appears to have personal significance to Gabbard. Earlier this year, the Wall Street Journal reported that she had been initiated into the Science of Identity Foundation, an offshoot of the Hare Krishna movement, into which she was reportedly born and which former members have accused of being a cult. Several former adherents told the Journal that they believe Gabbard received the name Shadra Dasi when she was allegedly received into the group. Gabbard's Deputy Chief of Staff, Alexa Henning, responded to questions from the Journal at the time by posting them on X and accusing the news media of publicizing Hindu-phobic smears and other lies, quote unquote. Quote, the data breaches you're referring to occurred almost 10 years ago, and the passwords have changed multiple times since, wrote Olivia Coleman, a Gabbard spokesperson, in response to questions from Wired. As our Deputy Chief of Staff has already made clear on a number of occasions, the DNI has never and doesn't have affiliation with that organization. Attempting to smear the DNI as being in a cult is bigoted behavior. Is it? Or is it just calling a spade a spade? Is it just acknowledging the reality that we live in, unlike cult members who refuse to do so? Quote, your bigoted lies and smears of a cabinet member and your story fomenting Hindu phobia is noted. It's noted on the record. We will be keeping track of this. It is written down, wrote Henning in a response to a follow-up question about the probability of Gabbard's password containing the same name she was reportedly received into Science of Identity Foundation with, given her denials that she has ever been affiliated with the group. Quote, this was well litigated during her confirmation hearing, so congrats on being about 6 months late to the story. Great job, as they taunt the media, the investigative journalist who's going to certainly dig up more dirt on this cult member freak, Tulsi Gabbard, this turncoat and traitor to the things that she even talked about in the weird hostage cult video that I just showed you, talking about the value of compassion and having compassion for others and building people spiritually and materially, as she serves an administration that is bankrupting the United States and ejecting members of our communities by the thousands through their mass deportation, bigoted, racist efforts. It is beyond parody. Anyway, I would love to know what you think about this. You can comment below in the comment section. Cult? No cult. That's what I want to know. You can also leave me a fewer than 3-minute voicemail on my voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Consider becoming a channel member for $2 a month or going over to my Patreon page. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore everywhere. And I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.